To get started today, I'd like to give a shout out to Mrs. Dolphin. She was my chemistry teacher in the 11th grade at St. John Bosco, and she just always put the extra time and care to help me understand the material. So I'd like to give a shout out to her for her extra yard for Teachers Week.
All right, thank you very much, Wyatt. We'll open up the floor for questions. Fourth row left, Andy.
Yeah, can you sort of talk about the physicality of this offensive line? It seems like you guys and the coaches have talked about how you're blowing people off the ball in these first few games.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of been the emphasis since fall camp. We wanted to change, the culture and what people were already making assumptions about us before the season even started. We're a young team and, we lost a lot of guys. So that's really just been the emphasis on kind of getting up on teams early and just trying to, assert your dominance as early as you can in the game. And, so far up to this point, I feel like we've done a pretty good job of doing it. Obviously, we're still looking on ways to get better as the weeks go on, but, we've definitely been trying to just play physical and play hard. So I think we've been doing a fair job at that.
Front row right, Bill from Columbus Dispatch.
I watched the replay of the game, and one of the commentators said that after talking to IU's coaches, they said the right side of the line was they thought the weaker side of the line. Just wanted to get your thoughts on that. Have you heard that? And does that give you motivation? Do you have a reaction to that?
Well, yes, I did hear that. And, I just try not to focus on, stuff that comes from outside the team. And, I understand that, I get that there's probably going to be multiple comments like that made throughout the season. If you look at it, Bowen, he did start for, a season, but he also got hurt and he was out. And then for me, I don't really have that many game reps, so I could see how teams could say that. And, I just try not to pay attention to it and just play the game of football and, let my game say otherwise.
How well do you think you and Brandon are playing?
I feel like we're getting better as the weeks go on. We're meshing very well. It's very fluid, and we're on the same page as far as like every play goes. And I feel like we're just continuing to get better as the weeks go on.
And right next door, Joey from the Columbus Dispatch.
Particularly with Brandon, it hasn't seemed like there have been a ton of pressures or much coming from the right tackle spot. What does he do well in pass protection?
You said, what does he do?
Brandon Bowen, what does he do well in pass protection?
He just does a great job of being patient, using his hands. He has the experience, like I said. It's not his first time going through, and he started and already showed that he belongs to be a starter. So each day in practice, he just takes a huge emphasis, especially going one-on-ones, working on his craft, and just continuing to get better. And it shows as the games go on with stuff like that, with no pressures and stuff like that.
Second row right, Tony from the Ozone.
Wyatt, you guys, all five of you, the starters, have graded as champions each week so far this season. Is that something you guys have now talked about? Is it something I know it's something you strive for, but is it something that you guys are now? How do you not think about that, but also try to live up to what you guys have done?
We definitely obviously celebrate the wins and stuff like that, and kind of grading out, like all of us grading out champions. It's kind of been a cool thing with these past couple games going on. But, we obviously, it's exciting, but we put that back and then we just focus on the mistakes that we made in those games that we could improve further on. So, it's more so cool just to think about like we're all executing at a high level, and that if we continue on this path, we could be something really special. So, we kind of just try to keep it grounded for the most part and just focus, on the next game and how we can get better for it.
Is there what happens if, say, you are the one who doesn't and the other four do? Is there a desire to avoid that? You don't want to be that one guy.
Yes, and that's another thing. It adds kind of our own little rivalry thing. Right now I think Jonah has the most knockdowns, so everyone's kind of trying to, knock him off the top. So, it adds its own friendly little rivalry to it. And obviously, if the whole offensive line is grading out champion, if you're not, you don't want to be that guy. So it pushes us to work harder in practice and to go harder in the games.
Fourth row middle, Patrick from BSB, Buckeye Sports Bulletin.
Wyatt, on that 26-yard J.K. Dobbins touchdown run, it looks like you kind of got out into the second level and helped bring that. Is that something that was schemed for, or did you just do that on your own?
Yes, it was something that was schemed for. I was accountable for that linebacker, and it just so happened, that when I stayed and tried to finish the block, I got in the way of the other defender, and that's what our coaches have been preaching to us this whole year, is to finish your blocks, because you never know when your block could be the block to kind of spring things open. And as far as my perspective, I just felt like I was just doing my job, and that was something that happened out of it. But it was exciting to see. I mean, and too, that run was crazy. He was looking like Marshawn Lynch out there, so it gets you fired up too, because what JK brings to the table, and he runs super hard, and he's been getting better as the weeks go on as well.
Something Michael Jordan actually gave you a shout out. The center or the Cincinnati lineman gave you a shout out for that play. How does that feel to get recognition from a guy who this year, doing that?
It feels really good, especially coming from Mike Jordan, because when I came in this program, that was a guy that took me under his wing, and I looked up to. So the fact that they're still tuning in and watching us, it means a lot, and it kind of tells you how special of an opportunity that we have to play the game, because he constantly tells me how much, and he's at the highest level, and he tells me how much he misses playing back here in the kind of the brotherhood of that we have, and the tradition of the games and stuff like that.
We got time for just a couple more questions. Front row left, Nathan from Cleveland.com.
The offensive line is graded as champions, as we were just saying, but coming out of that first game, Coach Day was like, well, I didn't really feel like all the fits were there. Did you take Sunday or Saturday's game, the big breakout that JK has, as any indication that those things were lining up better? Did you guys come out of that thinking, we helped make that happen?
As far
offensive line, as a unit, yeah.
As far as that run, you're saying.
I mean, just for him to have that kind of production, him and Master, I guess, both.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, no, it's definitely a sign that we're doing our job, and just even the smallest little crease that we give those guys, they can turn into something huge. So, and you were just talking about as far as the execution.
What has gotten better from week 1 to week 3? Even though you guys are grading as champions the whole time, how have you developed over these 3
I would say finishing blocks has gotten a lot better. We've been working, and that's been the emphasis for us, is because, from that first game, there was a couple times where, maybe if we would have held that block a little bit longer, the play could have broke out to be a huge play. So definitely that's been the focus, has just been holding our blocks longer and just finishing until the whistle. So I feel like in the Indiana game we did a good job of doing that, and that's why you were able to see some of those huge breakout runs from JK and Master Teague.
And final question, Lori, did you have a question? I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean,
Lori from WTVN.
this is important. Like, when did pancakes become knockdowns, and why can't we bring back pancakes?
I'm actually not too sure about that one. I miss pancakes too, but we still call it pancakes. But I just think that actually is a really good question. I'm not sure why.
How many does Jonah have, in all seriousness? How far away are you?
I think I'm close, but I think he still is kind of in the lead. I think he has like 4 more than me, 4 or 5. I'm not too sure actually. Yeah, on the pancakes, definitely need to bring that back.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much.